So the last class we understand what is the use of data and what is the so where we are stored into the in our machines, and also we understand that is the use of database and DBMS tools. These are all. And also we understand some little bit of idea about the data types also. Then here I want to open a file. So this is a file we want to explain and will be worked on this respected queries. So here we want to understand the data types. Yesterday also we already discussed about these data types. There are 9 types of data types, but we discuss only 4 few data types. One is the number, char, varchar2, and date. Okay. So here, let us briefly we are going to complete this one. So number means it is allows only numeric values. It is accepted up to 38 digits. Up to 38 digits. The size. Then this is the syntax we are going to follow. So this is the column name and this is the data type. P means so if you want to maintain any decimal points in our value, at the time we can go for P comma S. Most of the cases they directly use the size only. And the next char data type, it is allow alphanumeric characters, means in this number data type is always accept only number values, but it is not allow the characters. So that will be going to overcome in this char data type. It is accepted numbers and characters. The maximum size is up to 2000 bytes. It is allowed. Okay, this is the syntax we should follow. Next varchar2. So it is also similar like as a char. It is allow alphanumeric characters, but the size is 4000 byte. But memory allocation is dynamic. But in this char, memory allocation is static. That is the main difference. In this char, the allocation is static. In this varchar2, the allocation is dynamic. I will let you know in the practical scenario. And date means it is used to store the date values. We have a maximum size is 7 bytes, but standard size is 9. Okay, so it is going to store the value as a element into the as a character. Okay, not only it is going to, so here it is stored the century and year and everything, seconds and fractional seconds, that will be going to coming under this date. Next we go for the timestamp. It is used to store the, so here when we are going to use the date, it is accepted only date format. Okay, it is not store the uh, minutes and hours and seconds. If you want to go use that, then we can go for the timestamps. It is used to store the date along with the fraction of seconds. At the time we can use this timestamp. Next we go for long. It is also one of the data type. It is used to store the information. Information is already we have a varchar2 is there. That data type is also accepted up to that, up to 4000 characters. Okay, but if in case any one of the column is allow the more than 4000 characters, then we go for the long. So it is accepted 2 GB. It is accepted 2 GB. But here we have a rule, only once we are going to maintain the entire table. Next we go for raw. It is also used to store the images. Suppose if you want to maintain the capture the images in a particular column. Suppose for example nowadays if you want to open the bank account, they don't want to collect the photos from us. They want to directly capture the image and directly keep that image into their respected database. At the time we need to use this respected raw data type. Next, long raw. It is used to store the information as well as images. So if you want to maintain the image as well as their information, suppose for example a photo, the respected address. So or we have some images there. For that image we want to maintain some description of the image. At the time we can go for this long raw. And also we have some other data type is there, lob. What is that? We have several lobs is there: C lob, B lob, B file, and NC lob. So C lob means it is used to store huge information. We have some information. Suppose example up to 2 GB it is supposed that. If in case any one of the files which is having more than 2 GB data, then we can go for C lob. Okay, and the B lob means here also it is same, but here we have a option is it is used to store the images but in the form of binary format. Binary format means system format, 0 1s. Okay, and B file, it is used to store the files. And NC lob, it is used to store multiple languages. Suppose if you want to maintain the multiple languages in your database, at the time we can use this NC lob data type. Okay, but here in these 9 data types, we are not using these 9 data types in our regular life. We are using only few data types which are very important. This one only, this number, char, varchar2, and date, right? So let us now we are going to working with one by one data type and create the structure in our database, and we can possible to create the structure in our database. Okay, let us that. So first of all, first how we are going to open the tool? Then very simple. We have SQL plus. Just double click on this and click on yes. So here it is open. Now we can pass the username and password. Username and password. Then username is apps. Password is also apps. Hosting is VAS. And it is a 11G version. Now here I want to clear the screen. CLSCR command which is used to clear the screen. Okay. Let us now we are going to working with the respected data type. So here I want to work with this data types. Work with this data type while using the create the structure in our database. While create the structure in our database, right? So here we want to use the DDL statement. In this point of time, if you want to create the structure while using this data types, we can use the SQL statements. SQL statements. Then let us, the first statement is DDL statements, data definition language. So these are the one of the commands which is used to syntaxes, not the commands which is used to create or alter or remove the structure in our database. If you want to create the structure, we can create it. Means the tables. Structure is nothing but tables. That point you can keep in our mind. And modify the structure. Suppose, say example, if you want to add the column, or if you want to remove the column, if you want to change the structure, so then we can use the same DDL commands. Then next, if you want to remove the structure from the database, then we can use the same DDL command. Then here, if you want to create the structure, we can use the create command. If you want to alter the structure, modify the structure, we are using the alter command. If you want to change the name of the structure, we can use the rename. If you want to drop the structure, okay, if you want to remove the structure, we can use the drop command. Okay, so these are the commands we want to use to create or alter or change the name or remove the structure from our database. Okay, let us first we want to work with this DDL commands. Then here the first one is create. The first syntax is create, because of right now we don't have any object. We don't have any object in our database. Now I want to create a new database object. Let us create table. So here I don't want to follow anything, just I want to follow this syntax. This is the syntax we are going to follow for create command. Create table table name. Create a table name. What is the table name we want to create it? Suppose whatever table you want to create it, that table we can specify it. Suppose here I'm going to give my table name is student 900. My table name is student 900. Then next, what are the columns you want to maintain in this table? What are the columns you want to maintain in this table? So my requirement is this one. This is the database, right? So in this database we have a database objects is nothing but table. Which table you want to create it? I want to create the student table. So how many columns you want to maintain? I want to maintain few columns. So this is the S number. This is the S name, joining date, and phone number. So this is the structure I want to create in my database. Basically, in database, okay, in database we have so many database objects. What are the database objects means? Tables, views, synonyms, and sequences, and indexes, and clusters. These are all will be called it as a database objects which are available in our database. Okay, so these are available in our database. So now we are going to create a table. The table name is student. The table name is student. This student structure I want to create in my database. That is my work. Okay, how we can do that? Let us. So what are the columns is required? Then there are 4 columns are required. Student number. Okay, it is a number. So which data type is applicable for this one? It is applicable for number data type. And how much space is required? I'm going to assign 5 space. Okay, next, student name is, so here by default I'm choosing char. I will let you know what is the difference between char and varchar. So char, so here I'm going to assign 10 character space for this S name, and joining date, for this I'm going to assign the date. We no need to specify the date size. By default system is going to choose the maximum size. And phone number, for this I'm going to assign number only. So finally we can close with the parenthesis and end with the semicolon. End with the semicolon. Now we create it. Click on enter, it is created. Now our table is, means our structure. Table is nothing but a structure. That point you can keep in our mind. We create the table in our database. We create the table in our database. Okay, once we create the table in our database, now we can go to check it. Now we can go to check it whether the table is created or not. Whether the table is created or not in our database. So let us, we can check it one command, DESC, description. We can use the description command to check the respected table is created or not. Which table you want to check it? I want to check it this table. Description, student name. Now it is clearly shows the respected table is created in our database successfully, and how many columns are there in my table, and also how many tables are there in my table. So these are the columns are available. in our database. And here this is the data type is applicable for this one, right? Okay, finally we create a table, but here we are not satisfied this table. We want to do some customization. Maybe I forgot one column. At the time of creation table, we forgot a one column in this table. So how we can do that? So what we are going to do? We want to maintain. So we want to add a new column in this table, but already table is created. So how we can do that? Then now we can go for the alter. Now we can go for the alter. I want to add a one more column in this table. Maybe I want to add a mail ID. Then how we can do that? Alter table. So which table you want to alter? Student 900. What we are going to do? Add or remove or rename or whatever it may be. I want to add a column. So why? Because in this alter we have four commands: add, modify, drop, and rename. Add means we can add a one more column in this table. Modify means if you want to change the data type, then we can use the modify. And if you want to change the column name, we can use the rename. If you want to remove the column name, we can use the drop. Okay. Yeah. Now let us, we are going to working with one by one. Alter table, table name, add column. So here, which column you want to add? Suppose I want to add mail ID. Mail ID. So here it is also applicable for char 50. Okay. Let us. Now table is altered. Let us recheck it. We can go to check it this table. Now the respected table is altered, which is having the one more new column, right? Okay, once it is completed, then maybe at the time of creation table, we forgot a column, then we are add it. Suppose say example, if you want to do the one more modification, what is my modification is I want to change the data type. I want to change the data type, but at the time of adding a column, I given the data type is char, but I want to change the data type as char to varchar2. Char to varchar2. So how we can do that? Then here, alter table, table name, modify. Which column you want to modify? Which column? Then here, modify MID. This is a column I want to modify the character to of 50. Sorry. There. Now table is altered, right? Let us, we are going to check it whether the modification is appear or not. Description student 900. Absolutely, it is modify the respected column data type. Right? If you want to add a column, you can use the alter command while using add command. If you want to modify the column data type, then we can use one more command that is called as a this one. Okay. Suppose say example, I want to modify this column name. I want to modify this column names. Suppose this phone number. So I want to change the column name phone number as a mobile number. Phone number as a mobile number. How we can do that? Again, alter table student 900. Okay. Rename. We can use the syntax is rename, but here we can clearly tell to that column. Rename column. Which column you want to rename? Rename column phone number to mobile number. Rename column phone number to mobile number. Again table is altered. Let us recheck it. Student 900. Then absolutely it is changed by the new column name. Right? Then in the same manner, next I want to suppose I'm not satisfied with this respective step. Again, I want to do one more modification. I want to remove the column name. I want to remove the column name. So here, how we can go to remove the column name? So here again, alter table student 900, then drop column. Which column you want to remove? I want to remove this column. Drop column name. Again, table is altered. Let us recheck it. Then automatically column is removed. So very simple here. Observe this one. If you want to create the structure or a table, we can use this command. If you want to see the structure in our database, we can use this command. Okay. If you want to alter the structure, then we can use the alter command along with add. If you want to add a new column, modify if you want to modify the data type of the column, and rename if you want to change the column heading, and drop if you want to drop the column name. Okay, these are the four commands we are going to execute while going to do the alter or modify of our structure, modification of our structure. Right, in this manner we are working with this alter command. Next, again in this DDL we have one more few commands, rename and drop, but already we are using this rename and drop under alter, and also this rename and drop are coming under DDL. Actually these are the DDL commands are four commands. Okay, one is create, alter, drop and rename. So rename means here also we are using rename, but while using this rename we can change the column heading. While using this drop syntax, we can drop the column from the table. But here, if you want to use this rename, if you want to change the column, sorry, if you want to change the table name, then we can use this rename. If you want to remove the table from the database, I'm not satisfied with that table. I want to remove the table from the database. Then we can use the drop. For this drop, column. For this rename, column. For this drop, table. For this rename, table. Right? That is the point you can remember. Here. Now we are going to suppose. Now I want to change the column, sorry, table name. Rename student 900 to STD 900. Then table is renamed. We directly apply the rename syntax. Then now we can go to check it whether the table is renamed or not. Let us go to DESC STD 900. Yes, absolutely it is changed. Suppose if you go to check it with our existing old table name, student 900, it is not available because of is already changed with the new name, change with the new table name, right? So this is the case we are working with this respected scenario. Next, we are working with the drop command. So I am not satisfied with this table. I want to drop the column immediately. How we can go to do that? How we can go to do that? Then here, drop table name. I want to drop the table. So which is the table name STD 900. Table is drop. Let us we check it with the same table name. The same table does not available in our database. Clear? So in this particular time, in this point of time, we are working with this DDL commands. Okay. So this is the use of this DDL. I will let you know what is the use of auto commit and why we are going to treat as that these are the independent, and also we know that these are used to define the database objects. Okay. So in this case we are working with this DDL commands. It's a very important. DDL commands are the is used to create the database objects in our database. Database objects means these are the database objects. If you want to create a table, if you want to create a view, if you want to create a synonym, sequences, indexes, clusters, we can use the DDL commands only. Okay. Next. Okay. Once we are completed this one, suppose if you have the structure, now I want to insert the data. Now I want to insert the data. Right? How we can go to do that? Let us. There. Now let us we are working with the one more command that is called as a DML, data manipulation. So what are the data manipulations? We are going to do that. Then here, so let us. This is the DML command. Here observe this is it is used to handle the data in our database object. Handle means if you want to insert the data or if you want to update the data, customize the data, modify the data, or if you want to remove the data, we can use this DML command. If you are using the DDL commands, we can create the structure in our database and alter the structure in our database or remove the structure in our database. If you are using the DML commands, we can create the records in our database objects and we can modify the data in our database objects and we can remove the data in our database object. That's a different. Okay. Let us now we are going to working with that. Again in DML we have three commands: insert, update, delete. Insert, update and delete. We have three commands are there which is used to create the structure, which is used to work with the DML commands. Let us now I want to explain to you one by one. Then here first of all we want to create a table because of we don't have any table. Now I want to create a table. The table name is STD 900, S number, the number, S name, varchar 2 of 10, and joining date, the date, phone number, the number. So now I create a structure. Okay. Let us. Sorry. Next, how we are going to insert the data in this structure? Let us we can go to do that. Here we are using the insert command. So again in this insert we have two ways is there. One is the direct method, another one is the reference method. So I want to explain one by one. So in this first we want to work with the direct method. Insert into. Insert into which table you want to insert the data. I want to insert this table. insert into this table, and what are the columns you want to insert. Suppose here, insert into this table. Values, what are the values you want to insert it. Now I want to insert s number is number and s name. So if you want to give the number, no need to specify the colon. If you want to give the characters, you should maintain the colon. Why? Because it is a system does not understand the character. System always taking the values in the form of a binary format. That is the reason. So s name is Amar, and joining date. Joining date is also always we can pass as a colon. That 01 John 50. Next, phone number. Then here, now we can close this one, and now one row is created. Okay, how we are understand whether the data is there in our database or not, sorry, database object or not. If you know, if you are find out that whether the table is created or not, then we can go to use the DESC command. If you know to understand whether the data is inserted or not in our database object, then we can use one more statement that is called as a DQL statement. That is called as a DQL statement. What is this DQL statement? Is we have only one statement. Select statement. Select statement. We have only one syntax that will be going to work here. Let us select star from this one. What is the indication of star means? Star is indicate to retrieve the all columns from the database, all columns from the table, right? Suppose if you want to retrieve a particular column also, we can retrieve it. Select s number or s name from std 900, right? So in this point of time we can use this one. Clear? So here, which method we are using? Direct method. Suppose in this direct method, I want to insert only one column. Suppose insert into one more record I want to insert. Raja and 01 Feb 15 99200. One row is also created. Let us now we check it. So how many records? We have 2 records. Next, we want to insert only one particular column. I don't want to insert the all columns. So how we can do that? So here, insert into std 90. So what are the columns you want to insert? I want to give s number and s name. I don't want to give the remaining column values. In this point of time, we can write this way. We can write like this. S number is 3 and s name is Ravi. One row is also created. Let us recheck it. Select star from. We have 3 records. Sorry. It is a direct method. Okay, it is a direct method. So how we can go to work with the reference method? So in this point of time, reference method means then here we can write the syntax like this: insert into table values. Okay, but here we don't want to give the values directly. We can give the reference method. This is the s number, s name, and the joining date, phone number. So we are passing the only values, but we don't want to pass the values directly. It is a reference method because of what runtime it is asked to the value. So enter the S number, 4, S name, king, joining date 01 April 15, and phone number 99 400 99400. Now it is created. Again I want to insert one more record. We don't want to enter the syntax. Just you can use the backslash and will be continue the same syntax. 6 5. Then here we can give the hurry, and joining date is 01 May 15, and phone number 996 500 99500. Let us. One more record is also created, right? Let us. So here in this point of time, what happened? We can check it. STD, the records are inserted, right? Suppose in this way also I want to insert only few columns. I don't want to insert the all columns. How we can do that? Then again we can go to execute this query, insert into std 900 values, s number, s name, joining date, phone number. Okay, s number. So s number is 6. S name is Giri, but I don't want to give the joining date and phone number. Let us check it what happens. So it is not allowed. Why? Because we are not giving any information here, but how system does not understand what are the values is available here. So how we can go to fulfill that column as an empty column? Okay, so again I want to execute that 6 and Giri, then joining date as a null. What is this null? Null is a keyword which work like as a empty. It is a one empty space. I will let you know coming classes what is the use of this null. Null is a working like as a empty space. Okay, done. Next, phone number also I want to maintain as a empty space. Now it is successfully created. Right, let us check it. Right, then next, each and every time we are giving this respected colon at the time of insert the value. Maybe sometimes we forget to give the column, but if you forget the column, automatically the data does not inserted because of it is getting error, right? So let us how we can do that in this point of time. So what happened means in the syntax level I can maintain the column, which is the column is required. For that column we can specify the column. Remaining columns we can give the normal way. Now we can give the S number 7 and money. Sorry. So here observe this one. I can give the colon as well as in this point of time. Let us check it. But already we can give the colon in syntax level. Again I want to give the colon in this values level. Missing comma, right? So why? Because it is not allow the colons multiple times. Then let us. Now I can directly give the values. What happened? It is created. Let us check it. Right? So this is the case. We are working with this restricted columns. Okay. That. Next, we can go to work with sorry, this commands update. So this is the use of direct method and reference method. Next, we want to work with the update command. What is the use of this update? So if you want to modify the data in a structure, if you want to modify the data in a structure, then we can use the update command. So earlier also we modify the structure, but now we want to modify the data in a table. Okay, then we can go for respected update command. So let us on std. So now I want to modify the structure, sorry, modify the data. How we can go to do that? Here, suppose say example, how we can do that? I want to modify the king phone number. I want to modify the king phone number, means I want to update the king phone number. How we can do that? So here we can use the update command. Update table. So update table name std 900. Set which column you want to modify. Phone number equal to update table set phone number. Which phone number? That you can go to change the phone number is 99 0000 I want to change the phone number of. Then here, to whom you want to change the phone number. If you don't want to specify that condition, it is update the phone number to all people. If you update the phone numbers to all people, then how we can go to do that? Then let us. Here we can write the condition where s number equal to 4, where s number equal to 4, so that now it is updated for that particular record only updated. One row is updated. Let us recheck it whether it is updated or not. Absolutely it is updated. What happened? Why we want to give the condition? If you are not give the condition, it is updated to all records because of we are not apply the condition. So that is the reason it's very important. Whenever we are going to do the any updations, we must to specify the condition. If you are not using the any condition, it is updated the all records automatically. Okay, so let us now we are going to do that one more updation. One more updation means suppose say example, earlier records we are insert the third record, but we don't want to specify the any joining date and phone number. Okay, now I want to write the information. I want to update it. I want to update the phone number. How we can do that? Here same update std 900 set phone number. I want to give the a new phone number for this Ravi, 9911199911. To whom you want to update it? Where s number equal to 3, equal to 3. Let us now one row is updated. Yes, it is successfully updated, right? So that is the reason. So each and every time we must give the condition. Okay, if you are not giving the condition, what happens? If you are not giving the condition, what happens? Let us check it. Suppose I am going to write like this: update std 900 set phone number equal to 990000999900. But I don't want to give the any condition in this update command. Let us what happen, check it. Automatically 7 rows are updated. 7 rows are updated. even though that respected empty record is also updated with our new phone number. So let us recheck it. Every phone number is updated with a new phone number, but actual requirement is I want to update only one record, maybe any one of the record I want to update. But here if you are missing the condition, automatically it is applicable for each and every record. That is the drawback. So that is the reason we should apply the where condition. Okay. Then next, suppose I want to update any one of the phone numbers. Suppose say example I want to remove this phone number. I want to remove this phone number. So for this particular Gary, I want to remove the phone number. I don't want to give the any number. Just I want to remove this one. How we can do that? Update std 900 set phone number equal to. I want to give the empty. If you want to give the empty, then we can use the null keyword. Null is a recognized keyword by the Oracle. Please keep in mind. So how we have a create, update, and delete, drop. The commands is there same like as a null is also one of the command. Okay. Update std 900 set phone number equal to null where to whom you want to change the phone number. You want to maintain as a phone number s number equal to 6. Now it is updated with empty. Clear? This is the way. So in this point of time we are going to use this respected updation. Let us then. So this is the way we are using the update command. Next we are going to working with one more syntax, that is called delete. Suppose I want to delete the data in this table. I want to delete the data in this table. Select all from std 900. Up to now we are insert the data and we are update the data. Now I want to remove the data. How we can remove the data? So here we can use the one more command, that is called delete. That is called delete command. How we can go to delete it? Then here delete from table. Delete from table. So where you want to delete it? I want to delete the data from std 900 table, and which record you want to delete. Okay, then here where s number equal to 3. Then if you are not writing the condition, the system is going to delete all records from the table. That is the main problem. So that is the reason we should specify the condition. Then let us recheck it. std 900. So the third record is successfully deleted from the table. So here, suppose say example, here what I want to done, I want to remove the one record from the table. Then we successfully remove it. Suppose I want to remove the particular column data. I want to remove the particular column data. So how we can do that? So here we want to keep in our mind. If you want to remove the column from a table, we don't have any syntax to remove the column from a table while using delete command. But how we can do that? My requirement is I want to remove it. How we can do that? So if you want to remove the column date, column value, particular column value, we can go to use update command. Update command only. So how we can do that? Already we worked on that. Update std 900 set. Suppose I want to remove the phone number of king. Phone number is equal to null where s number equal to 4. That. So interview point of question, please keep in work. If you want to remove the column value, or if you want to remove the particular column value, we can use the update command only. We cannot use the delete command for to do that respected transaction. Okay. Then next we can go to work with the, so suppose each and every time we are giving the respected delete command. Okay. Where condition. Suppose I don't want to give the where class. What happened? What is the problem is occurred? Let us recheck it. Delete from std 900, but I don't want to write any condition. What happened? So here in this point of time it is applicable all records. All records is successfully deleted and does not available in our table. Let us recheck it. We don't have any data. So what happened? If in case if you delete any record, so if you delete any record without specifying the condition, it will be applicable for all records from the tables. That is, it is all records automatically deleted from the table, right? So in this point of time we are working with this respected this DML commands. Okay, DML commands. Okay, let us now we are completed these commands. Clear on this? So very simple. Just we can go to refresh the points. Then. So if you want to create the structure or modify the structure or remove the structure or change the structure name, we can use the DDL command. Okay. And if you want to insert the data in structure, or if you want to update the data in structure, or if you want to remove the data in structure, then we can use the DML command. Okay. And if you want to retrieve the data from the structure, then we can use the DQL command. Okay, that points you can keep in our mind. So here I didn't use any new commands, just I'm using the commands which are available here and which are provided by the Oracle people. Okay, that commands I want to execute and retrieve the data and do the whatever requirement we have. Okay, then the next class we can go to work with this TSL commands. It's a very important commands, so that will be discussed from tomorrow's session. Okay, and is there any question apart from this?